We used to get the coils with the powder already in it. You had to press the detonator into it. Not too hard or you'd blow your hand or something off. And then you get the little blue caps soldered on. You take your stick of gelignite and put it on a big wax paper. Then you'd roll it up and tuck in the ends. Then it'd go into the 5-pound boxes. Don't know what they put in it, but gave you a frightful headache.
It's okay.
I can't wait till Friday now. That's it? Oh, that's what
Informal interview with Peter Haffenden and a few of the cast. Take one.
Okay. Okay.
Can I tell you when I'm allowed to open?
You're right.
Am I allowed to open?
No, obviously the place.
Okay, what are you asking us? Come on, get on with it, Peter.
Oh, the basic thing, like, obviously this play's been very successful and a lot of people have been very interested. Could you tell us quickly how you came to do this sort of production? I mean, it's a particularly documentary type. It's about women, but it's nice and low key. Could you tell me how you
It's about women, but
It's about women.
well, it was through looking at the interviews from the Living Museum.
when do, I mean, what problems?
Well, Jenny
The diary.
Mitchell was talking one day about the women wandering around the table, blending the quarter and singing it. She said, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing to do? You know, wonderful thing
Where
to
did you hear her
reenact.
talking about this?
At the museum.
Oh,
The Living
Yeah,
Museum.
I was at the
It's a
museum.
great place.
Was
Living
right.
Museum of the Web.
Okay. That's what I was interested in, how they actually got
Right.
to do that.
And so Jenny and I just started fantasising about the images that could work in a show, and I knew that Kate and Lee were interested in doing work about women.
Right.
So we sat in the kitchen and we fantasised too. And then we talked about Rachel, and Rachel came in and she had a few more fantasies, and that's what happened.
Now, it's a nice type production at this stage, but how did it get that way? Was that easy? Was it?
It's never easy. But I really enjoyed the process of getting it together because we talked with the women who used to work in the munitions factories.
How important was that, do you think, to the fund?
Very important. We couldn't have done it properly as we have.
Because the idea was to make it as true as possible and to just represent people as they were. And
Yeah, in lots of ways we didn't want to pass judgment on them or set up a script which already, made a statement. We
This is,
wanted
I think,
to try and show something very honest about the women who we talked to and about the interviews.
And I think that was quite confronting at first, that we had to say, okay, we're 80s women with these sorts of ideas and these sorts of views. How much of that do we include in the play and how much do we just speak it as it was?
How did you deal with that?
Well, that we made a decision that we would tell the stories and that they would speak for themselves, that to tell the stories was the most important thing, and that they have enough in them, they say enough, without us having to make any kind of grand comment on top of that.
And what sort of response have you got from the women themselves? I mean, I've heard some and they've been
They really
amazed.
like it. Yeah, I think they're really pleased also that we're using their stories. Some of the things we use
Well, they
in
wouldn't
the
have,
play.
I don't think, that, from my knowledge, they wouldn't have seen a play about anything in this
I mean,
area.
it's just great for them
And see, I
to
think-
realise that we think what they did and who they are
Was
is important, and they found that.
I think
touching.
one of the things also, just the fact that we use so many of the work processes too, and actually show them and bother to even talk about them on stage is quite unique, you know, that we're actually saying this has been some major part of people's lives, let's show it.
Yes, it just paddles along, but at the end of it, I get tingles at some of the songs, it's quite amazing.
And I think that's nice what you're saying about people who perhaps haven't seen theatre before, coming to something and which may be a little bit different, and accepting it and really enjoying it. And I think that's been an important part of it too.
Yeah, for us making theatre that's relevant.
But I think that's also why it was really important to have the women along and involved in the process, because
That's not usually done, is it?
no, and we'd show them pieces that we've been working on, and anything that was more abstract or that people who don't know theatre normally aren't used to seeing. They said we didn't like that bit. We like the other bits, and we've included all the bits that they did like, and I think that makes it more accessible because
But interestingly, one of the things that they really did like was the abstract piece, which was the hand game. And in fact, it was simply a matter of asking them and letting them know. They didn't always say what we thought they would say. Sometimes they surprised us. But the fact was that, having been consulted, you know, they could have a say, and we were informed by what they had to say.
And they took that say?
Absolutely.
And we're very honest about the characters and whether the characters rang true, whether their language rang true, whether we in fact would have written letters with that sort of content or whatever. And that was really, really valuable.
And that again comes across when we perform it. The fact that people are very moved by certain parts of the play, I think, says that, you know, some of those things are exactly their lived experience, you know, and re-evoke their memories of the past.
In terms of drama, which you're all obviously involved in, how does it think? What did it teach you about drama?
Oh God, the hard question.
I was just asking.
What did it teach us about drama?
You just told me all this stuff about you not worked with women before, and that's pretty new, and the thoroughness of it all. But what did you learn out of that?
To be very clear and to let things speak for themselves.
I think, simplicity. I see it as lots of ways have a lot of simplicity in it, and I think that's amazing.
That sometimes devices and, you know, playing with something too much can in fact destroy it or manipulate the image in a way which doesn't become meaningful.
It's a very plain production. Hey.
Thank you, Peter. Let's have a drink!
I think we should call a meeting straight away, and we should stop this bloody speed up before it gets a lot too far.
Well, let's catch them before they go back to work.
Give us a hand, will you? Holding room.
Attention, girls! May wants to call a meeting.
As you all know, the management's trying to introduce the idea of a speed-up. We've got to take a stand. I say, when the speed-up man comes around, we slow down. That way, when he thinks he's speeded us up, we're still doing normal time.
Yeah, playing at their own game.